Welcome everyone back into the Sky Pod episode 3. I know I was supposed to drop this on Sunday, but certain things in life happened and I'm getting it out to you now. Apologies. I want to start off by saying it is a beautiful day out here in Georgia. Georgia. Had a fantastic weekend. I hope everyone else had a fantastic weekend as well. And I also want to say thank you for everyone for the continuous love and support who have reached out to me during the first 2 episodes, family, friends, and fellow veterans alike. I appreciate you. And once again, I thank you. I'm going to start off today with the NBA playoffs because a lot of things have happened over the last couple of days. But first things first, let's talk about what happened last night. So the Denver Nuggets, after coming off of a 7-game series against the Los Angeles Clippers, go into OKC against the Thunder, who are rested, who have time to game plan, and they go in there and they defeat them 121 to 119. Jokic did Jokic things, kid. 42 points, 22 boards, 5 assists in a playoff game. Only the fourth player in NBA history to accomplish that feat. Aaron Gordon once again showed up big. Second game winner of this playoffs. He hit a go-ahead three-pointer with 2.8 seconds left. The Thunder were up 11 with less than 5 minutes left in this game. SGA had 33 points, but 2 critical missed free throws from Chet Holmgren, and the Nuggets take it. So my thoughts after the game. Experience matters. Championship pedigree matters. There is no excuse for a team like the Thunder, who have had time to game plan, they've had rest, to lose game 1. That is the game you, without a doubt, should go in there and win double digits and blow them out of the gym. The Nuggets came off a 7-game series. Those guys are tired. You're coming off a game 7 where in reality, you're emotionally drained on top of being physically drained because your playoff hopes are on the line. That's a do or die game, win or go home. And the Thunder allowed these guys to come up in there, take game 1, and then what do you expect? I mean, game 2, now Denver has a lot of options. If they get run out of the gym, well, we can rest our players because now home court advantage is gone. And to have the expectation of a young team like the Thunder, who took the regular season seriously, to go into Denver, probably one of the top 2 places in terms of difficulty to play in a playoff environment, you got to go in there with a team that's hungry, a team that's rejuvenated, and you have players that are playing their roles and playing well. Aaron Gordon is not a high 3-point shooting average guy in his career, 41% right now during the playoffs. Jamal Murray's starting to get rejuvenated again. He added 20 points in this game. This team is hungry again. Everyone thought when they fired Mike Malone, ooh, bad decision. Well, maybe a different voice matters. I think this team now is hungry. They smell blood, and the Thunder don't have that experience. SGA, great player, MVP of the regular season. You're not going to get the calls that you got in the regular season it's not going to carry over to the playoffs. And you saw that last night. And free throws matter. Chet Holmgren makes those free throws. It's situational basketball. You don't put your team in a place where you could lose. And last night, the Denver went on the road after a 7-game series, and they win? If I'm a Thunder fan, I am shaking in my boots, kid. Anyways, we had another playoff game last night. The New York Knicks go into the Garden down by 20 at one point in the third quarter. They end up defeating the Celtics on the road. Jalen Brunson had 2 or 3 critical three-pointers to throw the game into overtime. He finished the game with 29 points. Cat had a double-double, didn't play his best game. OG Anunoby had 29 points. And then Mikal Bridges stole the ball at the end of the game from Jaylen Brown, who still can't go left. Still can't go left. Second left in the game in overtime. They take the game. Here are my thoughts. the Knicks aren't going to win another game. And here's why. The Celtics missed 45 3-pointers in that game. 45. What are we doing? I understand they're a 3-point shooting team, but I also understand if you live by the 3, you die by the 3, unless you're Steph Curry. So they missed 45 3-pointers. And get this, you're up 20 points. Get off the 3-point line. That's playing half-court basketball, grabbing rebounds, and you got to drain the shot clock and take high percentage shots. Again, understanding, taking into consideration that a 3-point shot for the Celtics is a high percentage shot. But you're up by 20, man. They have to claw back in. You're on the 3-point line. They're going to live with that. They're going to live with it. In the second half, there were 49 shots in the second half for the Boston Celtics. 37 of them were 3-pointers. They only made 10 of those. They were 15 for 60 for 3-pointers last night. There's no excuse. If they miss 44 3-pointers, they win the game. If they make 9 more 3-pointers, they win the game. I do not think the Knicks have the personnel or the coaching to go against this Boston team. I wouldn't panic. But let's pivot from the 3-point line when you're up 20 points. And Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, 23 points apiece. You got to find a way to get better production out of your 2-star guys. And maybe that starts with getting off the 3-point line. But for two teams going on the road, for the Nuggets, that's a momentum shifter. Championship pedigree. I don't think the Thunder will go down 3-1. That's a tough ask to go win in Denver with no playoff experience of that magnitude, with a team that is 2 years removed from the championship. The Thunder now have put themselves in a situation where they got to play out of their minds because now Denver has them where they want them. But for Boston, just get off the 3-point line. Get off it. You'll be okay. Warriors Timberwolves. That game is tonight. The Warriors closed out the Rockets in Game 7. They became the 7th number 7 team to advance to the semifinals in history. They play the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are favored to win this series. Golden State was 3-1 against Minnesota in the regular season. And I know what you're going to say. It's the regular season. It doesn't really matter. Steph averaged 28 points in those games. Oh, plot twist. They didn't have Jimmy Butler. They're 28-11 with Jimmy Buckets now. They're one of the best teams in basketball. The seeding in the NBA, teams that take the regular season serious, and then you get to the playoffs. Great teams turn it up in the second half. With the addition of Jimmy Butler, the Warriors are a different squad. I know the Timberwolves beat the Lakers in 5. I understand that. But it's a different team. Steph's in shape. No disrespect to Luka. Steph's in shape. Jimmy's hungry for a first championship. And none of these guys are 40. There's this narrative going around that Ant's a dragon slayer. You know, he slayed Kevin Durant last year. Well, that Suns team didn't have cohesion. They didn't have chemistry. So it wasn't really like he slayed Kevin Durant. He just slayed a really bad team. And then for the Lakers, they're a really good team, but Luka has things to improve on. JJ Redick's a first-year head coach, and LeBron's 40. You might have slayed a dragon, but you slayed a dragon who's been in hibernation in the past 5 years, isn't the same dragon, and he doesn't have the fuel in the tank to really be considered an impressive playoff victory. If you're not beating a guy who's 40 years old, I'm looking at you going, well, you're going to have a hard time beating other teams outside of the Lakers. So winning in 5 games was not a surprise to me. You made the Western Conference Finals last year. But this is a different team. Steve Kerr's a 4-time NBA champion. He also has 5 rings outside of that championship as a player and as a GM. The Timberwolves are favored. But here's where I'm kind of confused. Minnesota has the size advantage. They have Rudy Gobert. They have Nazi Reed. They have Julius Randle. Great complementary pieces. The Warriors aren't as deep as the Timberwolves. But I don't really necessarily think that size is going to win this series. Who's guarding Steph? Because if you put Ant on Steph, and then you put McDaniels on Jimmy B, that frees up Buddy Hield. And guys that are going to have to play big in this series, Moody, Kuminga, they have to show up this series. They have to. Draymond's going to handle Rudy Gobert. He's 7 foot for nothing. He's going to pull the chair. He's going to force him into difficult interior shots. The Timberwolves can really do well on the boards, grab the rebounds, and control the glass. But here's the thing. The Warriors are a really good defensive team. And if they make their shots, it doesn't really matter if you control the glass, because if the Warriors are creating turnovers and scoring points off of turnovers, 3 is better than 2. And you got to know Steve Kerr's going into that series going, nobody else scores but Anthony Edwards. You're going to have to just relinquish the fact that Ant's going to get his 35 and 5 or his 30 points a game. But I don't think these other guys on that team, Nazi, Randall, DiVincenzo, McDaniels, I think the Warriors can shut them down. The Warriors have Jimmy Butler, who took a Miami team to the finals twice, and since he left, they're buns. And now you give Jimmy B, Steph Curry, Buddy Hield, Draymond Green, championship pedigree, which matters. I love Ant Edwards. No question he's becoming one of the best players in the NBA. But I think Steph gets his 5th. I think this is the last run or the last dance of the Warriors dynasty. And I think it goes 6, but I think the Warriors prevail because they're just hungrier and they got more experience. So now I'm going to transition into the Army side of things again. The art of being present and leaving the past behind is the topic I want to discuss, because a lot of veterans out here are stuck in the past and they're stuck from what they accomplished before. And they have a hard time being present in the moment. They really do, man. They have a hard time being present in the moment. So for vets out here who are struggling with that art of being present, you got to be able to control your mind, being mindful, having mindfulness and self-awareness, the ability to understand your surroundings and self-regulating your emotions is extremely difficult, especially for vets, man. Whether that's PTSD, whether that's things outside of the Army, childhood trauma, anyone. The mind is such a powerful thing. And those who've experienced trauma in the Army or in the military or even outside of the Army, they are high level overthinkers, man. They have the tendency to want to control every aspect of your life. So the first thing for me is you got to let go of the past, man. From my experience, if people aren't serving you the way you need to be served, or if people are just constantly reminding you of what you've done and how it's impacted them, kill it. Get rid of it. I'm so serious. For you to be present in the moment, you can't put yourself in an environment where they can't let go of your past. Remove yourself. But you also got to let go of control and expectations. The undeniable need to control the perspective of others and the narrative plays a huge role of you not being present in the moment. Being aware of how your mind wanders back to the past and anticipates the future is a huge problem. Let go of trying to control everything. Let go of the expectations. Have expectations of yourself. Have high standards for yourself. But if you let go of the expectations of other people, you're not going to be let down. You're not going to feel inferior. You're not going to feel upset because you have no expectations of them. Everyone else, it is the natural human thing to look out for your own self-interest. So do what you need to do for yourself to make yourself happy. Let go of the control, man. Don't have expectations. And I think if you continue to try to control every aspect and you try to control expectations, in my opinion, that's a traumatic response to prevent being hurt like you were in the past. Live with the results. Life's about suffering. You can't have good without bad. You can't experience happiness without sadness. Enjoy the ride. Fall in love with the process. And I promise you, you'll be able to be present in the moment. If you think about the past, it'll block whatever future blessings are coming your way. It's going to make you feel depressed, and it will prevent you from enjoying the things you have in your life in that current moment. What things are making you happy? What things are making you feel gratitude in the current moment? If you think about your future, it's just going to make you anxious because you're going to start being your worst critic in your mind, and then you're not going to be able to be present in the moment. And don't compare yourself to other people either. Comparison is the thief of joy. There's always going to be someone that's better than you. And honestly, social media has ruined being able to be present in the moment because you're turning on your phone, you're scrolling, and you constantly see how other people are living in your life. Hey, vets or my buddies, whoever's struggling, nobody's going to post anything on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or X, that paints them in a bad light. They're just going to post accolades. They're just going to post happy relationships. And if you compare yourself to this unrealistic expectation of others, well, you're not going to be present in the moment. You're just going to compare yourself to that situation. You're going to feel shitty. Be present in the moment. Let go of the past. Honestly, what's worked for me is I practice gratitude. Give yourself that grace. I woke up this morning. Thank you. I have enough money to eat. Thank you. I have clothes on my back. Thank God. Be grateful. Have gratitude. Not everything's going to go your way. And the testament of a man is not how you're reacting to when things are going well. It's how you're reacting to things when you're facing adversity or you're facing tough suffering in your life. That's the testament. How do you pull yourself out? How do you evolve and become the person you were destined to be? So that's my veteran. I hope that helped you guys, honestly, because that's something that's been weighing heavy on my heart is being able to be present in the moment. It's so hard for you to be present. And if you're present, you're going to attract better energy and people are going to want to be around you. I promise you. So something that's huge right now that I want to talk about. And it's going to be an event that I'm hosting. So on June 21st, I'm extending an invitation to all veterans who I have served with to attend an all-day event that will include music, a cookout, and swimming at the Broken Bridges at the Old Tugaloo River in South Carolina, just outside of Toccoa, Georgia, where I am currently stationed. Camaraderie will be reignited, old faces will reconnect, and memories will be made. The Sky Pod will be up and running, and things might get a little snooty. I'll leave the podcast off with this final quote. Sometimes you'll never know the true value of a moment until it becomes a memory. I appreciate everyone for tuning in for episode 3 of the Sky Pod. Once again, thank you to all my friends, followers, family, fellow service members. I appreciate you. Thank you for supporting me on this journey that I've embarked on. I love y'all, man. Chance, Crashy, Papa love you. There goes S.